What's good, world? Welcome back to the RiOT Comedy Podcast presented by RiOT. Shout out to RiOT Natural Spring Water, keeping us healthy and hydrated over here.
It's Ichi and Schmunky Bread here, baby, and we are here to deliver the goods. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Super Bowl because I have some things I'd like to say about it. First and foremost, hilarious. Hilarious.
That shit was over real quick.
So I live in Missouri, so I was watching it with Chiefs fans, dog, and it was good stuff. Like,
I would have never.
I can as a sports fan, if you don't enjoy sad sports fans that aren't your fans, aren't like your team, like you're crazy. Like it's always fun. It's always fun, dog.
See, that's the thing. That's why I don't like to watch big games with any team's fans because whenever that team wins, it's just annoying being around a bunch of hooting and hollering for a team that you don't give a damn about.
Yeah, it's just like, dog. I mean, I left the Super Bowl party I was at because I didn't want to do that. I was there with a bunch of people, and I was like, dog, I'm out of here. I went and watched it at the in-laws, and was like, they're Chiefs fans, so it was whatever. And it was funny because my wife was like, because she just now got into football just now, and she kept saying like we when it came to the Chiefs, but she was like, what's going on with the Chiefs? Like, are they like cocky? What's going on? I was like, babe, you don't watch a lot of football. You don't understand. It's really, really, really hard to win a Super Bowl, and it's really, really hard to win 2 in a row, and it's impossible to win 3 in a row. Like,
right.
Pat Mahomes, he's lost like 4 playoff games his whole career, and he's been in the league for 7 years. So, like,
yeah,
it's fine. Dude's like 17 for 21. He's like 17-4 in the playoffs. So, like,
yeah, he's doing all right.
Can't win them all. One thing I don't like about like now that the Super Bowl is over though is like I've heard a couple of people already bring up can the Eagles repeat? They just got to Disney World, dog. Leave them alone. And then now we're bringing up this narrative about Jalen Hurts. Like, where does this put him in the echelon of quarterbacks? Then I hear people being like, "Oh, if it wasn't for Saquon, they wouldn't have done this. If it wasn't for this." Like, you can say it about every single Super Bowl winning quarterback. If Julian Edelman doesn't catch that ball at the 50-yard line for Tom, they lose to the Falcons. If David Tyree doesn't catch that ball off the helmet, the Patriots probably go undefeated. There's so many things that you can say about that to just give.
Hey, if that rookie on the Chiefs wouldn't have had the 2 touchdown catches, Pat Mahomes would have put up a goose egg in the Super Bowl.
And it's one of those things where it's just like,
we can play the what if game all day.
Leave Jalen Hurts alone. Leave him alone. He has something that like most quarterbacks will never have.
There's only 6 active quarterbacks in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers might be on his way out. Russell Wilson ain't hanging on too much longer. Matt Stafford ain't hanging on too much longer. It's it's gonna be freaking him and Mahomes are gonna be the only quarterbacks in the league with a Super Bowl.
Yeah, of all like the younger quarterbacks,
someone else don't win next year.
Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say Jalen Hurts is better than Lamar Jackson or better than this guy or better than that guy. But like, if somebody wants to say it, say it. Say it with your chest. This dude wins. This dude's won a lot of football games in his NFL career. This dude, like, he wins like double-digit games pretty much every year as a starter. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one. His resume is wildly impressive already. He finished second in MVP voting for a season. Everybody leave this man alone. He's done it, and I don't know if the Eagles will repeat or not, but I'm not here to care. I'm not here to care if the Eagles repeat. If Saquon Barkley blows out his ACL and then Jalen Hurts tears his rotator cuff, it's all for nothing anyways, dog. So, like, none of this shit matters. It's totally fine. But leave this guy alone. Let's just celebrate the Eagles for what they are. They're world champions. And yes, I said it, Noah Lyles. They are world champions. If you don't believe me, go out there and run some fucking European football team against these guys and see what happens. Beat the shit out of them. So that's
put together a team of the best football players in the world who ain't NFL players. Eagles will whoop the shit out of them.
Oh, dude, destroy them. They just beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So dude, it's fine. Like, everybody leave the Eagles alone and leave Jalen Hurts alone because the dude's a winner. He's won consistently. He finished second in Heisman voting. He has a national championship under his resume. He has a Super Bowl under his resume now. Like, can't knock this dude. Can't say shit. Everybody just leave him alone and like just worry about football next season. Like, let's not get ahead of ourselves, everybody. Like, football will be on again in September. We'll see what happens with free agency and trades and the draft and all those things. We'll see what happens. So, like, let these guys celebrate their shit and not worry about a repeat, dude. It's totally fine. And I'm a little bit.
No, I just want to say I picked the Eagles to win. I never wavered on it. I never said the Chiefs are going to win.
Fair.
The Eagles look like a better team. Had a gut feeling. Never. Everyone said I was crazy. You don't bet against Pat Mahomes. Normally you don't, but you can't win them all.
But you didn't bet against Pat Mahomes. I didn't see no money on the. You ain't no money on the motherfucking table. Hey,
I didn't bet you, but I did bet one of my friends that the Eagles were going to win that game.
Oh, really?
I
Nice.
did, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
had a gut feeling, so I was going to go with it. And I was like, you know what? I did want to see the three-peat, but I was also like, you know what? At least if the Chiefs lose, I can be like, hell yeah, I collected a little bit of money on it. So all's well
Sorry.
that ends well.
Sorry, RiOT Comedy fans. I have a dog down here. Otherwise, he'll bark and wake up my child. So he's down here in the basement with me, and he's hooting and hollering about something. So he's
Put
a
him down.
dachshund, and he's the worst. Yeah,
Go put him down.
I'd like to. Trust me. I'd like to just put him in a sack and throw him right over a bridge like they used
Just
to
keep
do
some
back in the
ketamine
day.
on deck like Dexter. Just keep some ketamine and give him a little one of these and
Blow it out. By the way, dude, so many dope NBA games right now. Like, I don't know if you saw some of these stats that were just put up, but Trey put up 38 and 19 tonight.
yeah, that was a
Or
hell of a
last
game. They
night.
lost by 1 in overtime to the Knicks.
Yeah,
That was a
or
fire
last
game.
night whenever we drop the podcast, probably drop it tomorrow. But so last night, we working late. But yeah, so it was a wildly interesting night in the NBA. Just watch Kyrie drop 40. All these things are kind of transpiring, and like that
Also,
leads me into
awesome game. That Mavericks Warriors game was fire. All the way
dude,
to the wire.
we got 30 games left in the NBA. Everybody's got between 30, 32 games left in the NBA right now, which means nut cutting time is starting, which means good basketball is right around the corner.
No doubt.
We got to see Luka play for the first time on a minute restrictions. Just got the dog shit kicked out of him by the Jazz, but beat the Jazz before this by a lot. Everybody was like, "Oh,
we're 2 games into the Luka Lakers. They're 1-1, 1-1."
And after the first game, though,
Jazz.
after the first game, that was hooting and hollering time. It was Western
no
Conference
doubt.
Finals,
No doubt.
championship. So, like, I guess my question to you is, what are we gonna see here? Like, are we gonna see a first round exit? What are we seeing?
No, absolutely not. If the Lakers are healthy, they better make it to the conference finals. I do think Denver can beat them. So if they run into Denver before that, I won't knock them for that. If they lose to anybody other than Denver, then I will knock them all day for it. Because if LeBron James, it took 21 and a half years to get a teammate that was better than him. For a long stretch of that, it was actually impossible to get a teammate better than him.
Right, that's what I was about
But
to
if
say.
LeBron James, even right now, if he's the second best player on your team is good.
Yeah, I just the Jackson Hayes at the 5, and maybe bringing in Mo Bamba or bringing in Alex Lynn or bringing in JaVale. I don't love it. I don't love their bench. I don't love their bigs. I don't love any of it. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost to anybody in the playoffs. Like I think the Clippers would be a real tough matchup for them. I think that the Nuggets are a tough matchup.
Nah.
OKC, like we have to remember that these guys are going to play together for 25, 30 games. Luka's going to be on a minute restriction, and like it's going to be a really tough. It's going to be a really, really tough postseason for them. You don't really see talent. You don't really see a team shift makeover halfway through the season. Then all of a sudden, it's like, okay, cool. We're gonna. The only people that do it, like LeBron's done it.
The Lakers had been playing really good basketball before Luka got there.
Correct. Great basketball. They've won 10 out of their last 12 now. 4 seed in the West, looking pretty sharp. They look good though. I like the way JJ Redick's got them playing. I like everything about the Lakers right now. And as like a LeBron fan, like all I want is for them to go to the finals. I'd love to see LeBron. What would this be, like number 11 finals trip for him or something like that? Number 11. But you need to win it. You ain't trying to be 4 and 7.
Yeah. Nah, you ain't trying to do that. You gotta, if you're gonna make it, you better win it.
Yeah. It'd be better for you to get knocked out in the playoffs than lose in the finals, unfortunately, which is stupid, but it's true.
It is. It's true. It is true, and it is stupid, but unfortunately, that's the way things look sometimes.
I mean, like you're the oldest player ever to score 40 points in a game, which means that like people are going to criticize you like you're 25, 30 years old. It just is what it is. I don't think it's a fair assessment. I think if it was anybody other than LeBron James, we'd be like, this is the greatest Twilight we've ever seen. Everybody cherish this person.
Absolutely.
Everybody jock him. Everybody talk about it. Like, especially like people that people love for no reason, like the media loves. Like if Steph did this at 40, people would be like, oh, he's the greatest player ever. If Jason Tatum does it when he's like in year 20, people are just going to fucking drool all over his dick for it. So like,
100%,
it is what it is.
100%.
It is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, we'll see what transpires in the West. And the East both. I mean, at this point now that we got 30 games left, we're past the trade deadline. Everything's rocking and rolling. I think that we can actually make accurate finals picks now because I picked the Dallas Mavericks to go to the finals, and now they don't have Luka anymore, and I don't want to stick with that pick anymore.
Yeah, same.
I feel like
I think I also had Maverick.
I
Yeah,
feel like I shouldn't have to stick with that
You
since
can
their
you can
best
change
player
on
is
that all
gone.
day.
If
a team trades their best player, you can change your pick.
So who do you? And I think I I've changed my Eastern Conference pick as well now that we're 50 games in and I can see both these teams play and everything going on. So who do you have in your finals coming out of the West?
I have Denver coming out of the West now.
I'm not even mad at it, dog. Like I'm not mad at it.
I think Denver or LA comes out of the West. I don't think anyone else is going to make it out. I wouldn't be surprised if OKC made it out, but I'm not going to pick them. I would be shocked if any other team outside of those three made it out of the West. I'd be
out
shocked.
of the Lakers, Nugs, and Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Man, this is a tough pick for me because I don't know because I always say this about the NBA playoffs: if you don't have two guys that can give you 30, then you're in trouble. And I said this like on our podcast a couple weeks ago before the trade deadline. I say if you're Oklahoma City Thunder and you just stay put and you don't do shit, your ass gonna be in motherfucking trouble if you ain't careful.
Absolutely,
So
they're in trouble. That's why I can't pick them.
I really like the Denver pick, and there's one thing about the NBA playoffs: like if you have the best player on the court for the whole series, you're gonna win a lot most of the time. Yeah. And I like the Nuggets pick a lot, and it makes me want to pick them really, really bad. And it just depends on how the seeding shakes out. I am going.
Who do you think Denver could run into that could knock them off unexpectedly?
Clippers.
You ain't never gonna get me to believe in the Dippers. Not never.
Me neither. And I'm talking about they bump him.
They ain't beating Denver. They are not.
I'm not talking about to go to a championship. I'm talking about beat the Nuggets in the first round.
First round.
And then they underperform. They're
Nuggets
just playing really, really good basketball, and it's like a weird pick that could beat OKC's interesting too because they have Hartenstein and Chet, so they're pretty big. Like Chet's not like thick or nothing, but like coming off the weak side block and shit, like he's a menace for things like that. I think I would have to say like the Clippers are interesting just because with Kawhi on the floor, they're basically number one in everything, and they're super good. But I think OKC would probably be the hardest matchup for them. They still have a hard time with Minnesota for some reason, but I think OKC is going to be the toughest matchup for them. And as far as who I have coming out of the West, it's so hard for me to pick anybody just because like I think my heart is getting in the way. I think my heart's getting in the way a little bit. But like I do think the Lakers have a legit chance just because Luka's good enough. But I think I would have to roll at this point with Denver as well, just because. I mean, Joker's averaging almost a triple-double in 3 quarters. In the first 3 quarters, I told you the stats earlier. It was like almost 26, 10.5, and like 8.8 assists in 3 quarters and shooting like 53%. This was my argument for him being MVP this year. Like I know, like giving somebody a 4th MVP. Is that what it would be 4th for him?
Yeah.
Who only has 1 championship is tough, but like this is the problem with the system of like we just make up rules why people don't win MVPs. But like if you average a triple-double and you shoot 57%, 54 to 57%, I think last time I looked it was like mid to high 50s. You're the fucking most valuable player in the NBA. It's not even fucking close. Who's doing this shit? Who's doing this shit?
No doubt. He's the most valuable player in the NBA. He's the best. He raises your team's
That's my
how
problem
good your
with
team is. He raises it up more than anybody right now.
Absolutely. And it's not even fucking close. So, and then my question is Eastern Conference. Who do you have coming out of the Eastern Conference?
I've been saying Celtics all year, but whenever I actually watch the teams play, I can't believe I'm about to fucking say this. I wouldn't be surprised if the New York Knicks won the East.
That's my pick. I swear to God, like I've been watching these dudes play basketball, and this is what I was saying.
When I actually watch them play, man, like they look like a better team. Just like I test only, like no stats, no nothing, no analytics, no nothing, no. Just when I watch them play, New York looks like the best team in the East.
Here's why I think the Knicks have the best shot coming out of the East is because they do have 2 players that can give you 30 any given night, and I don't think the Celtics do. This could be like a weird thing for people to hear. I don't believe in Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum to give you 30 points any given night in the playoffs. I don't believe in them because I've seen it. I've seen it time and time again. Now, there is a chance that the Celtics just flip a switch we didn't know that they had, because great teams can flip a switch. We see it all the time. And they might be great enough to flip a switch because their roster is fantastic. They just won a championship. They play well together. They might have a switch that they haven't flipped yet, and Jaylen Brown is kind of like one of them sneaky dudes who can flip a switch. Like, Jaylen Brown's kind of a cold-blooded motherfucker. You know, he makes me nervous not picking the Celtics, to be honest with you, more than Jason Tatum does, because I know what I'm going to get out of Tatum. I'm going to get 26. I'm going to get 26 tonight. He going to do some nice shit, and it just is what it is.
But in the bigger games, this fool might show up and give you 19.
I know, and I believe in Jalen Brunson to give me 30 in the biggest game. I believe in Jalen Brunson. But the reason that I'm picking the Knicks is because when the playoffs fucking start, they're prepared to play 48 minutes. These motherfuckers are prepared to play because they do it in game 1. Like, these motherfuckers do it game 1 to game 82. These motherfuckers, Tibbs got these motherfuckers out there playing.
Tibbs be running up minutes. He be running up minutes on his players.
In the playoffs last year, I think Josh Hart had a 3-game stretch where he sat like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Not a game, total. And I know he had a 2-game stretch where he didn't sit. And Josh Hart is like one of the best utility players I've ever seen in the NBA. Like, as far as like
quality player, no doubt.
Just my God,
great
just
player
like
to have on your roster.
It fits on any team in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he'll give you a triple-double. He just has like random triple-doubles all the time and shit. Not all the time, but he's good for 3 a season, 2 a season, but in the playoffs he'll probably give you one. Mm-hmm. I like the addition of Cat. I think Cat is obviously far better than Porzingis. Like, Porzingis don't want that smoke. Another 44-10 game tonight. I also really like the Knicks to come out of the East, and it makes me want to throw up. But for like the NBA viewership and NBA period, like, let's get a Knicks-Lakers finals. And with
I can go over that.
If you could pick one team to win the NBA finals and your pick is correct, besides the Lakers, who would you pick to win the championship?
Like, I get to choose the winner.
You get to choose. It's up to you. No Lakers. No LeBron and Luka championship, motherfucker. No LeBron.
It's tough. But it's only tough for me between 2 teams. If I can just pick the champion, it's between Giannis and Jokic. I want, like, part of me leans toward Giannis because I want to see Dame get a ring.
Yeah.
But if Jokic wins the championship, he
top
jumps
15.
up higher.
Top 15.
He's top 15. He's easy in that top 17, no question. And so if he wins another championship, that does more for him than another championship does for Giannis, I think. I think if I don't think Giannis jumps in the top 15 with another ring. Maybe he does.
Top 20, but not top 15.
Definitely. But I think Jokic is like, he's ahead of Kevin Durant for sure.
He's better.
And so he's
Joker's
really
better than Giannis.
He's like outside that top 10. Like, if he gets another one, if Jokic gets another one, he's outside that top 10 to where he's like,
he's in that weird Hakeem Olajuwon, Steph Curry
absolutely.
kind of.
He's right behind Hakeem and Steph, and those guys, it's like Hakeem, Steph, Bill Russell. Depending on your generation, one of those guys always gets left out of your top 10. Jokic is right behind that group of guys.
The NBA has like so many superstars now, and like the NBA's gotten so good that instead of people having a top 10 list, we need to just increase it to a top 15 anyways. Because like we can't just have a list without Hakeem Olajuwon on it, or possibly without Steph, or like possibly without Larry, or possibly without Tim Duncan, or like some of these guys that like a lot of like fall in that 7 through 11, 12 category for a lot of people.
Well, there can only be 10 of them. There's only 10 top 10 spots. Someone's got to get left out. We don't need to start expanding the list and talk about more guys.
I know, but
that reminds me of when LeBron was like, "Oh, we need 15-man All-Star roster because guys are getting left out." Should have been better.
I know,
better.
I know, man, but like it's really
with that.
But like, is Steph really not going to be a top 10 list?
Steph is in my top 10.
Is Hakeem Olajuwon?
Hakeem Olajuwon, oh man, I'd have to like kind of probably write it out. But yeah, it's always like Hakeem. I always leave Russell out of my top 10.
Bill Russell,
I
yeah,
know
me
that's
too.
blasphemous for the old heads. But you know, when I watch guys play, even though like when I watch Bill Russell play, I'm like, this dude's a really good basketball player, but he's not, you know, like if I'm drafting dudes,
he's top 10. He's top 10 for most important.
For sure. But
You
you know,
know,
if I'm drafting dudes and every NBA player ever is available, I ain't drafting him top 10.
nobody is. That's the thing that's frustrating. It's like
You
nobody
know?
is. Like, and I
Yeah.
you know, and people like we don't just say shit for clickbait. Everybody, most people would agree with us, but like it's just one of those things where it's really hard to leave somebody off the list. And if I had to, like, so I guess like, are you picking the Nuggets if you get to pick somebody?
Uh yeah, I would. I would take the Nuggets. So we can watch Joker climb that list.
If you want to talk about climbing lists, and there's two teams that I look at that I'm like, if I could pick for them to win a championship, I would be
I,
like,
I
yeah.
I already know where you're going when you're talking about climbing lists, and this crossed my mind too.
So like Dallas would be super cool to me just because like
Yeah.
I'd love to see AD and Kyrie get one. But if Steph and Jimmy Butler were to pull out a championship and we got watch Steph
Golden
win number
State crossed my
5,
mind.
we
Yeah.
need to have some serious with this rock. We need to have some serious fucking conversations about goats. Period. Like goats. Like it solidifies you as the best point guard ever without question. There is no Magic Johnson.
For sure. For sure.
Takes that off the table. But
Steph, for me, there's nothing Steph can accomplish that can put him in a GOAT conversation
top 5?
because top 5, 100%. You can accomplish enough to even be number 3. But when I watched you and LeBron James play each other 4 times in a row, both of y'all pretty much in your prime, nobody ever walked away saying Steph Curry's better than LeBron James. And Steph Curry went 3-1 against this
know.
dude, and nobody ever said Steph
I
was better than
know.
LeBron.
I know, but if you win a championship with your third best player as Draymond and your second best player as fucking Jimmy Butler and you're 37, like we need to have a conversation. I'm not saying GOAT shit either, but you're going top 5.
The conversation is, are you ahead of Shaq and Kobe and all
Right.
these guys?
Kobe, no.
But
You don't have enough defense to pass Kobe, in my personal opinion. But that's just my personal opinion. But you know, if I had
then
to
how do
pick,
you put him ahead of Tim Duncan? If he ain't ahead of Kobe, he ain't ahead of Tim Duncan.
that's probably I don't know. See, that's the tough thing. So, but when you talk about like legacies, things like that, like there's a part of me that want to see Steph. There's a part of me that would want to see like Dallas pull it off as well, just because I'm a big Kyrie and AD fan, and like I'd love to see Clay get
that would
one
be awesome.
away
I
from
would
the
love to see that
Warriors,
too.
and see Clay get one away from the Warriors would be super funny. And like
That would be rad.
I think that would be super funny. And then also, not that I would pick this team, but like the Rockets would just be funny. It would like there's part of me that just wants to pick somebody that'd be fucking funny, like the Pacers. Like that's funny. Like, oh my god, really? These motherfuckers? Like, no, I wouldn't actually pick those teams, but like Ime Udoka running around fucking wives as a champion, like I'm here for that. Like, but in all honesty, dog, like I'd probably roll with Dallas just because like I would get the
I ain't
most
mad at that.
enjoyment out of watching that. Like that's what would give me
Yeah.
the most enjoyment. And there's even a part of me that would want them to win it over the Lakers, even just because like I would just really enjoy that. Like it would be
As far
so
as
fun.
as far as just pure enjoyment as I'm watching it, I think I would either have to go again, since we can't pick the Lakers. For me, it would be either Warriors or Bucks. Like to watch the Warriors win another one, or to watch the Bucks, to watch Giannis get one. That would be really dope, because Giannis, like, he obviously he's not Joker, but if he wins another ring and he's got Finals MVP, he's ahead of him all time because he's
He is.
got 2 MVPs. He's got Defensive Player of the Year awards. And then if you led, pretty average squads to not average, above average for sure, but not spectacular squads, you led them to championships.
Right.
You ahead of him on the list for now.
What's interesting for Giannis is like hasn't really sniffed a final since, and like let's say like Giannis never wins a
Right.
championship again, he's gonna be Dr. J. Like you're gonna slip through the cracks of like when people talk about all time greats,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get disrespected on accident like that. Like he really, especially since he played in Milwaukee and shit, and like you haven't sniffed a finals since. Like if he had been to 3 finals, won
Yeah.
one, and had like another MVP and another Defensive Player of the Year award, then like you won't be forgotten because like you dominated.
Right.
But like you're in a
Right.
dangerous territory if you don't win again, to where you're Dr. J 2.0.
No doubt.
Because
No
like,
doubt. But at least even Dr. J, I mean, this fool went to the finals like 4 times.
but
So
like anytime people talk about like greatest players, dog, like Dr. J like is just kind of like an afterthought for
for
people.
sure. No,
And
I
he's
get what you're saying,
probably
but Giannis has still got to be considerably behind him, because it ain't like Giannis is at least Dr. J was busting ass running through the East a few times. You know, he lost to Larry Bird a couple times. That's fair. But then he, busted ass, ran into Magic a couple times, whatever. But like, if Giannis was busting ass and running through the East at least, then we could talk about him more. But you're playing in a conference that like we watched Jimmy Butler win this shit with bums twice. You know, we
Yep.
watched the Celtics win it twice. Once when they were freaking babies, and like you should be winning the East at least a few times here and
I
there, right?
agree. But what I'm saying is like not necessarily like in the rankings. I'm just talking about like forgotten about when it comes to just like
Yeah,
people just talking about you, people
yeah,
appreciating your greatness. People like nobody talks about.
yeah.
Everybody thinks Dr. J is like this fucking all time great dunker and shit. When in reality, like he's one of the greatest basketball players to ever grace a hardwood.
Absolutely.
He's a fucking top
During the
20 basketball.
70s,
He's a top 20
during
basketball player of all time.
during the 70s, the only player better than him was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
That's it.
who is
And then he played in
what
one of
was
the
the GOAT
hardest
at the
fucking
time and is
eras.
still top 3.
And he won a championship
Would
in
you
the 80s. Like when
Right.
Larry and Magic won 8 championships in the 80s combined, Dr. J got one of those motherfuckers. I went and fucking got one. So
Yeah.
like you just don't want to fall into that kind of weird category of like, yeah, he's great, but or like, oh, they just kind of forget to bring your name up because you were surrounded
Right.
around LeBron and Steph and KD and shit. And like KD's the only
Right.
player I've ever even seen who can pull this shit off that he's pulled off and like be remembered as an all-time great. I'll tell you that because
Yeah.
he is. I'm not saying he's not.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is definitely, in my personal, he's the second best basketball player, third best No shit, I've seen a lot of. I'm old now, fuck. But of his generation, though, he's the second best. He's better than Steph. Greatness wise, no. But like, throw a motherfucker the ball and let him go to work. KD's a
Yeah.
bad motherfucker. So,
Yeah, he is.
but greatness, greatness and best, those things are a little bit different. We all know that. Like
They
those
are.
things are
They
a little
are.
bit different. So, but yeah, man, I just don't want to see that kind of happen. I would like to see Giannis get another one because I'm a big Giannis fan. I think he's great for the league. I like his attitude. I like that he hates everybody.
Same.
I like that
Yeah,
he's a
me too.
fucking straight up bitch to everybody. Like, fuck you, you suck my dick. Like, I like that shit about him. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah,
friends.
same.
You ain't gonna come work out with me in the off season and learn some of my moves and shit. Like, I don't do shit like that. Ever.
I love that he's always stayed true to like his game. Like whenever he like put on all that weight in like year 4 or 5, whenever, and like he changed his game. Like he used to have a silky smooth jump shot, but now he's got a power game, and everyone's talked all this shit and like, oh well, Giannis ain't got a great jump shot. It's like, dude, I
Don't
don't
need it.
need a great jump shot. I have a game that like works, and I'm getting 30 points a game by dominating
Efficiently.
motherfuckers. Yeah, efficiently.
Efficiently.
And so I love watching him play. I love watching Giannis power someone down and just embarrass them and dunk all over their head. So yeah, I would love to see Giannis get another chip. That would be amazing.
the I'll say this and then I'll jump into what I was gonna say. But if you want to talk about motherfuckers jumping jumping the list far, let James Harden win a fucking championship this year and see how many fucking spots that motherfucker jumps. We talking
No
like
doubt.
15 spots, 20 spots. But what I was
Yeah,
gonna say is like
yeah.
the most overrated thing that has ever happened. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to the NBA, in my personal opinion, is this stupid ass shit about a bag. This motherfucker got a bag.
Bro, don't even get me started on this shit. Don't even
Miss
get me
me with
started on
that
this shit.
fucking bag shit, dog. You put the motherfucking ball in the hoop. Shaq had no bag. Shaq didn't have nothing. You know what he had? 28,000 career points. Like everybody's like, LeBron ain't got a bag like this motherfucker. Come
LeBron
on.
has a bag. Like the thing is, so if you want to say Shaq doesn't have a bag, that's cool because he had a power game and he had a decent like little hook shot, but like LeBron has a bag. He's got fadeaways. He's got
He
jukes.
does.
He's got this and that. The thing is, like, so many casuals are like, oh, he don't have a bag because he doesn't have a tight handle. They think having a bag is like being slick with the ball and being able to juke people like that. And it's like there's so much more to what constitutes actually having a bag. How good are you at getting a shot off? How good of a shot is that for you?
Joker ain't got no bag.
What can you take from the defense? Right.
We ain't ever said Joker don't have a bag, and that motherfucker ain't got no bags. He just puts the ball in the hoop. I just shoot it. I
Right.
just shoot it over you. I just run good basketball plays. Like the amount of times that I even see NBA players go between the legs like 3 times, 4 times, then go behind the back but never actually move is disgusting.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's not a bag.
like, dude, I was talking this about our brother with our brother Dylan about it recently, and he's like saying how good these players are now, and I'm like, they just have a better handle. Like these
That's it.
fools stand around, they waste all this energy dribbling, and they're still okay. So like your average NBA player today, your average guard, has a better handle than Kobe Bryant, but who is better at getting a shot off?
Yeah, I know.
You can't even
And
be better than Kobe Bryant at getting a shot off. So like, what are you doing with all that dribbling? What the fuck good is it doing you?
I'm reminded by Kobe Bryant whenever he said, it's good, we're going. No, I'm reminded by Kobe Bryant whenever he said that
RiOT
that
Comedy Podcast.
yeah, it was a lot. Almost,
Oh, I
but
loved it.
I'm reminded by Kobe whenever he said that these motherfuckers play accidental basketball.
Yo, real
Like, you
shit,
drive
man.
and
Real
kick,
shit.
drive and kick. Like, they don't, like, I'm a better basketball player than no bullshit 30-40% of the NBA. I might not be as athletic. I might not, like, but I know when to cut back door. I know when to look for
Right,
things. I
right.
know how to run a fucking offense. Like,
Put my mind in a super athlete's body.
they'll be one of the best
I'll be,
basketball players in the world.
you know, like, dude.
That-
And there's gonna be a lot of people say like, "What the fuck do y'all know? Y'all never played yada yada." I've heard NBA players say this same shit. Like even there was an episode of The Shop whenever LeBron and Draymond are talking shit on these fools. They straight up said 75% of NBA players don't know how to play basketball.
Correct.
And it's very evident whenever you actually watch basketball games. Like a lot of these fools don't know how to play basketball. Like in a
And I played a lot of
5-on-5
basketball in my
setting.
life, dude. I've probably spent more of my life on a court than anywhere else besides a bed. Like, in my lifetime, I've
Yeah,
spent
me too.
I've spent thousands of hours. I don't know how many hours that actually is, but whole childhood, whole teenage years, and all the way until
I mean, dude, we used to play basketball when it was fucking snowing outside. We used to play basketball in the rain. Like we played basketball when it was 110, 120 degrees outside. We played
This is what we
basketball
do.
every damn day.
And I've studied this game more than anything. And it's a shame too because I never had a chance to do anything with it. I make sports cartoons now,
It
but
was
like,
all
I
in
never
vain.
had a fucking shot. Never had a fucking shot. So like that's
Yeah,
the
man.
thing though, is that I know
It's
the game.
every short white kid's dream to fucking be an NBA player. None of us can do it. We ain't
None
make
of us
it.
can fucking do it. We just lower the rim down to 9 foot and fucking jam out and pretend like we're fucking
Hell
there.
yeah.
We've
Lower
always
that bitch
talked
and have
about.
fun.
We've always said, dog, put a 9 foot rim out there and have an under 6 foot league, dog, and get some of these freak athletes that are 5'7", 5'8" out there, dog, and fucking.
Yeah, dog. We'll be out here
It'll be
having
better
fun.
than girl basketball. I fucking promise
Oh,
it'll be
no
better
doubt.
than
No
WNBA
doubt, dog.
basketball.
No doubt.
Way fucking better. So yeah, man, it's a frustrating thing to watch, dog. But I guess this will be the last question that I have for you, and then we'll do a little positivity at the end of the podcast. But how many spots would James Harden jump though if this motherfucker won a championship this year?
Really like 15, because I don't know, exactly where he's at right now. I know we put together like our top
45?
50 list a while back. He was in that like low to mid 40s range. He wins a chip, then he's like
You're
around
in
the 30
30s.
mark.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you in the
absolutely.
30s. And like
Absolutely.
that's
He
a
takes
wild. And I
huge
saw
jump.
this stat the other day that whenever he was like in his heyday, whatever it was, 2018, 2019 on the Rockets, might have been that season, this motherfucker averaged 18 points a game on isolations.
Damn.
That's cooking
Hey.
your motherfucking defender. The next highest person that season was LeBron with like 6.
If Denver were to win the championship this year, what does that do for Russ?
Man, yeah. I mean, fuck, Mr. Triple.
Thinking about that made me want to change my pick. I would love of all the
See,
guys
I
in the
forgot
NBA
about Russ.
who have no rings. Of all the guys in the league currently with no rings, Russ would be my very first pick to win one.
You gotta think that squeezes Russ in at around number 25, right?
Absolutely, dog. I mean, so if Russ wins a championship this year, the number 5 all-time point guard spot is his. The rest of the spots are locked up right now. The 5 spot is his.
That's true.
'Cause you got-
And that's what I was telling you about Kyrie Irving the other day. I was like, dude, if this motherfucker wins
Yeah.
the championship this year with Dallas, he gets the 5 spot.
Yeah,
Like, you get it over
Yeah.
Jason Kidd now. Like, you get it over
Yeah.
J Kidd. And I guess the same would go for Russ, because I think Russ is like, but like James Harden's numbers are stupid too. I think like James Harden's on pace though to be like something stupid, like top 10 in assists and like top 15 in scoring of all time.
yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
Russ is like somewhere in those kind of stupid categories too. But James Harden specifically is like, he's the only NBA player to ever lead the league in points and assists more than once. Not at the same
Didn't we
season.
look this up the other day? Russ did it also.
Russ. So those two are the only people to
Yeah.
ever do this.
Yeah, to only ever have multiple scoring titles and multiple assist titles. Russ and James Harden. That's it.
Are the only people to ever do that, which is fucking nanners. So like it's
Yeah.
weird though, because I think I would have Russ above James Harden though in the all-time great list. And like when I say above him, I'm talking 5, 6 slots probably. And I don't know, do I disrespect James Harden too much? I went off on a tangent about him not long ago about how like his style isn't winning basketball, and like I don't like the way that he plays because he holds the ball too much and his deep threes lead to too many fast break points. And same thing I say about Dame, which I love their play. I think they're hoopers. I think they're great, but I just saying I don't know if it leads to championships. But like, am I being too disrespectful to James Harden? Because even James Harden is even better than Dame Lillard. Like, pretty like not significantly, but I didn't have Dame in my top 50 list, and James Harden definitely made my top 50 list.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but Dame is like number like what? How many threes has Dame made now? Is he like third in threes?
Yeah, a bunch. But
Is he
Dame
third?
is just like the unfortunate thing for Dame is like whenever we're ranking these players because Dame like we
He just
watched him
doesn't
beat
have
James
anything.
Harden. You know, we watched Dame beat all these dudes we're talking about right now before. But numbers matter, accolades matter, stats matter. Like everything, you got to take everything into account. You know, and that's what puts Russ so far ahead of James Harden is two things. It's like number one, he's the triple double guy. The other
Right.
thing that puts him ahead of James Harden is which one would you rather play with? It's not even close.
Yeah. Well,
It's
I
not
was
even
about to look.
close.
So Dame is fourth on the NBA all-time three-point list. He's fourth. I didn't know if he was third or not, but he will pass Ray Allen. He's only 200 behind. So he
Yeah,
will pass him next year. But James Harden's number 2. Clay's number
yeah.
5. This is interesting. Okay. But yeah, so I was just wanting to look that up because I thought maybe Dame was third, but he passed Reggie is what he did, and then so did Clay pretty shortly after. And then Ray's
Mm.
gonna get past too. That's fucking crazy. And Paul George is number 9 on the list. Wow.
Paul George be making threes.
LeBron number 7. LeBron's gonna pass Reggie.
Yeah, he played
LeBron's
100 years.
I felt like Reggie was in the NBA for a long time.
18 years. That is a long time. LeBron's on year 22 though.
I know, but like still though, you got more threes than Reggie? What? That's just crazy. Like that's a crazy stat though. Like I know longevity plays into it and he played forever, but like he's only fucking 50. No, he's 47 behind him. 47 threes behind him.
You're gonna pass him soon this
That's
season.
wild though. That's wild. Nobody would have ever thought that was gonna fucking happen. Nobody.
Nah, for sure.
Nobody fucking thought that shit was coming. That's just a crazy stat. Like when you look at LeBron's numbers, like some of the things that he's done are just they're so stupid. It's so dumb. Like people can say what they want about this dude, but like, how dare anybody not have him in the top 2? How dare you?
I agree.
How fucking dare you
I agree.
guys, dog? But it's weird though, man. Generations, everything just changes. Like I feel like Magic Johnson is getting wildly disrespected nowadays too, because like I'll see these young cats be like, "Oh, dude, Steph's the best point guard ever. It's not even close." Like, it's not even close.
Yeah, to say it's not even close. Like, if you want to have Steph as your GOAT point guard, I ain't mad at that.
Me
But
neither.
to say it's not even close,
Is he
you
yours?
need to slap yourself in the face for some shit like that. No, he's not. So, but
Thank
if
God.
I'm if I'm building a starting five, if I'm drafting my team, I'm drafting Steph Curry over Magic. But
Ooh, not
Magic's
me.
ahead of him on the greatness list. He
Not
is.
me. Not me. I think Magic's a better basketball player. I think Magic is just overall like if I have a
I'm not
basketball
mad at
team,
that.
no matter how it's built.
Magic is a better all-around player, and he does. Magic is gonna do more with less than Steph can. But if I'm drafting players from all the NBA players of all time, my team is gonna be loaded. So I want Steph on that team.
Magic eat him up.
I
Eat that
ain't even mad at that dog.
Magic
Magic's
eat
fucking
that.
good, man.
He's just too big. Like it's like of course Magic can eat him up because he's fucking 6'9"
Yeah,
and just moves like a fucking just he moves like a
yeah.
ballerina, dog. He's so fucking
Magic's a
smooth,
bad
dog.
motherfucker, man.
He's a bad
Magic's the real deal.
he is a bad man, Majama. Am I allowed to say that? Was
Yeah,
that
you
too
can
many
say whatever
words?
you want this far into the podcast. Oh shit! No, you're singing songs. You're gonna get us fucking canceled.
That was only 3 words though. I think you get up to 5.
He's a bad mamma jamma. That's 5.
Fuck.
You can get us sued.
We're sued. As long as it's not a Luther song. Is it Luther? No,
Hey,
fucking.
as long as we can only get sued for the amount of money we're making on the podcast, we're gonna be all right.
Yeah, is it Luther Vandross, dog, whose family sues everybody? No, who is that? It's not Luther.
No, that's oh man,
He's
Marvin
like
Gaye, maybe.
It's Marvin Gaye. His family
Yeah.
sues everybody. They just sued Ed Sheeran for something. Like if they even hear a note that sounds similar, they take your ass to court. Like they're the most suingest motherfuckers.
These fools take you to court. If your music sounds like something Marvin Gaye would make if he was still alive, your ass getting sued.
Dog, it's fucking crazy. So we're at 40-minute mark. Jesus Christ. Nobody even watches after the first minute and a half. So thank God nobody will probably see the Kobe Bryant joke I did. So little positivity though. Who do we want to shout out? What are we talking about here? Who are we shouting out today? I didn't even put any thought into it whatsoever. But who are we shouting out?
Whew.
You want me to go first?
Shout out. Would you say you'll go first?
I'm ready for mine.
Go ahead.
I want to shout out Nick Sirianni, dog. Everybody was talking mad shit on you this year. Like you yelled at a fan. Everybody said you didn't have your team under control. Then you shaved your head, and everybody's like, he's fucking crazy now. Like he doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, he's on the hot seat after going to the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and his team won 12 games. They went to the Super Bowl, won 12 games, and then he's on the hot seat the next year because they started off like 2-2. Shout out Nick Sirianni.
They fired their last coach one season after he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. But he had Doug Peterson. He probably needed to go. But yeah, shout out fucking Nick Sirianni, dog. You did a great job this year, man. Everybody was saying you was on the hot seat. Everybody saying that you super whatever. And at the end of the day, dog, like you bust your fucking ass. You're a good coach, dog. Good, like, do you, dog. Even if you get fired in a couple years, whatever, dog. Nobody can take your fucking Super Bowl from you. So shout out Nick Sirianni, dog, for keeping his head on straight, dog. Not becoming a fucking bitch, not fucking talking shit, and just fucking standing on business, dog. So shout out Nick Sirianni, dog. Super fucking proud of you, even though you're older than me, but super fucking proud of you, dog.
I'm gonna give my shout out to Anthony Davis because, you know, in today's modern NBA, whenever 90% of the league, 95% of the league is soft as fuck, you know, people get traded or they're involved in trade rumors and they get all in their feelings and shit.
Dalton Connect, stick. Dalton Connect, come on down.
Dalton Connect, come on down. So Anthony Davis, his first game for the Mavericks, unfortunately, he got injured, but he started off killing these fools. This fool came out on fire, played aggressive, looked like I'm here to fucking do the business that y'all traded me to do, and got to it.
And he also said he was going to bring the enjoyment back to Dallas. Like he's like, I know you guys lost Luka, but I'm here for you.
Yeah, and I got mad respect for that. But shout out to Anthony Davis for understanding the business of basketball and handling it like a pro.
He did.
And like a grown ass man, and not letting it affect him mentally, and handling his shit like a grown ass man, like a boss. Dalton Connect, I'm gonna cut you this much slack because you're a rookie and you're 22 years old. But this shit is over, and if you do some shit like this again, we're gonna make fun of you super fucking hard in our cartoon.
Oh, dude, we were trying to make an episode about you, dog.
You're lucky we didn't fucking roast your ass. You're so fucking lucky we didn't.
Let's not fucking pretend like we weren't trying to make an episode about him. We just couldn't fucking come up with anything, and unfortunately, we have deadlines like nobody else in the world, and our deadline is fucking today.
Yeah.
It's every day. Our deadline is every fucking
let
day.
You have it. So any players, if anyone gets traded, if y'all are gonna act like fucking children because the business of basketball when y'all are getting paid millions of dollars, and Dennis Schroeder, you want to say like it's like the fucking trade deadline is like the slave trade. No one cares when you're making fucking millions of dollars, bro. No one cares when you live everybody's dream life. Like we don't give a fuck. I will take a NBA contract on any team. You can trade me every other day if you want to. Let me get that experience of being a fucking NBA player.
Look, I don't give a fuck if I play for the Lakers and a day before the fucking championship starts. Thought you guys trade me to the WNBA. I don't give a fuck as long as the money's the same.
As long as I'm still getting NBA money, I'm cool with it, dog.
Send me to the fucking Aces. Send me to the Liberty. Send me to the Sparks. I don't know any other the Lynx. I don't know any other team names than that. I think that's like half the teams out.
This is what you sign up for whenever you do this job. You know, this comes with the territory, and no one's making you do this job. You can quit anytime you want.
Whenever you want, you can quit, dog.
So you know, No one feels sympathy for you for getting traded. But shout out to Anthony Davis, handling business like a pro, like a grown ass man.
Yeah.
Shout out Sirianni, and thanks for rocking with us on this episode of the RiOT Comedy Podcast. We'll be back to rock with y'all soon. Appreciate y'all.
Deuces.